Right there, folk. Welcome back to another unboxing. Today we've got a couple of beers coming out of Lakes, and this was basically a purchase done on the back of the beers I had from them at Indie Man. It was coming towards the end of the session, and I was like, well, I've got a few tokens left, and we were all kind of congregating in this one little area, in this pool section. Of course, there are multiple baths in Indie Man, but yeah, we were at this one place, and I thought, just go. I saw Lakes, and I was like, I haven't had a Lakes beer before. I know, of course, there used to be Hawkshead Brewery, and of the Hawkshead beers that I had, not long before what happened to Hawkshead, which I will go into mildly, um, they were all good beers. So I very much thought, and I knew the whole, the brewing team that's passed over to the next brewery. I thought it's going to be decent beers, isn't it? So went over, and I was kind of taken aback by actually how good they were. I thought they'd be good beers, but I wasn't, quite ready for how good they were going to be. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. So then, as a result, I've got a little box of 6 beers from them. There's actually something quite interesting, well, of course, about Lakes Brewery, with the transition between Hawkshead to Lakes Brewery, what has kind of gone on and everything. If you want to listen to more about it and know what the ins and outs to an extent, there's been a podcast done by Track Brewery. I can't remember what the podcast is called at all off the top of my head, but if you go on Spotify and you type in Track or something, and maybe as well Hawkshead or Lakes at least, then you'll find something. Because I think it's Matt Clark, the head brewer. He speaks in relative detail about what happened. I think it was Hellwood International, because was the company that they were partly sold out to or something. They basically died the same sort of way as what happened with Sadler's. I had a friend who was working at Sadler's at the time as well, and well, what went on there was just disgraceful. To shut that brewery down when it went down. So, and the same sort of thing happened at Hawkshead, and then obviously they reformed Lakes. Hawkshead, I think, still exists. I'm fairly sure it still exists, but it does exist. So I just would never buy a beer from them nowadays. But yes. Anyhow, on to the beers themselves. All of these were. I think there was one little change, and they said, apologies, Cave Rave, which is what I want to get, is out of stock. So we've added My Japanese as a substitute, which I've looked at and I'm absolutely happy with and absolutely fine with. So all good. So we're going to go through any old order. We have Enter the Phantasm Zone, Part 1, 6% DDH IPA. Now, they've got plenty of other beers on their website, but this one just kind of, I think I could have built maybe like an 8-pack or something like that, but this one just seemed right. Enter the Phantasm Zone is an ultra-modern DDH IPA that showcases the latest brewing techniques and cutting-edge ingredients using YCH303 trial, co-pelleted, concentrated cryo hops, and Phantasm, which is a new one. This potent combo enhances the big juicy tropical notes, blah, 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 blah. You will see more in the review, but there we go. This one, which is core range, but highly interests me, a New Zealand Pilsner. Now, I found out that Matweka is actually, basically is just as a name from the Matweka Valley, and it was actually used to be called SARS D, was the hop variety, and Farham said that when they went over with the hop merchants they were working with, that they said, well, let's call it something other than SARS D, and let's call it Matweka. Same as I think SARS B was a hop as well. I can't remember what SARS B is being renamed, but yeah, SARS D is Matweka. And then, of course, it got Green Bullet too. So Green Bullet, lovely hop as well. One of those ones that kind of flies under the radar. This one, big old pokey boy at 10.5%. Not sorry, a peanut butter and chocolate imperial stout. Typically, I wouldn't really want this sort of style of beer in a 440. I prefer it in a 330 because I don't need almost a pint of Imperial Stout. But I'm sure it'll go down pretty nicely. But yeah, there we go. That one. Then we have Gazelle Up a Drain Pipe, a DDH IPA, just like the name on this one, really. But again, it's got that 303 Phantasm, and did I read something else? Nectaron and Mosaic as well. So lovely hops. And also, proper ABV for an IPA as well. The one I loved at the festival, this one, 3 Berry Pie. I had to get it to do a review of it because I thought it was excellent. Triple fruit sour with blueberries, blackberries, and cherries. Loads of vanilla and just tasted like cake. Tasted absolutely wonderful. There we go. And looking forward to doing the review of that. And finally, the replacement beer, My Japanese is Better. It's a raspberry and yuzu sour, which sounds lovely. I love a bit of yuzu in a beer. So yeah, there we go. That is the 6 from Lakes, which I'm looking forward to giving a go over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, anyway, see you next one. Cheers.